Okay, so I realized that I could go ahead and continue on to part three and give you your instructions for the rest of the worksheet without needing you to have the answer to this one just yet. So I still want you to go ahead and talk on your team pages and decide what you think the answer is to this one. Strain 1, 2, 3, or 4. Remember that strain 1 included a missense mutation. One amino acid was changed. Strain 2 had a nonsense mutation. It had a premature stop codon. Number 3 is the one that had a silent mutation. And number 4 had the frame shift mutation. So decide which one you think is causing the illness and post that up there. So here is the hemagglutinin protein that is on the outside of the cells. So assuming you got it right, good job, Jason. I'll take your data back to the lab back home. I'll return in a few hours. And away she goes. Take care of the team until I get back from the airport. Remember to wash your hands frequently so you don't get sick too. Goodbye. I wonder if this is still an unpaid internship. Aw, so sad. Okay. So, in addition to discussing that last question, I want you to also do the rest of the worksheet here. There's only 3 problems on it. So it wants you to find the DNA or find the stretch of DNA in the following sequence that codes for this peptide. Now, the way this is written is just like in class where you had to cut out the strips and glue them end to end. This is all one piece of DNA. They just hit enter to start to the next line. So if you were reading along here and you went A, G, T, G, A, you jump right down here to G, T, G, as if this were one unbroken strand. Don't wrap around the end here and don't just stop. If you hit the end, continue on to this part down here. Go all the way through and at ATA, jump down here, GTC, and keep going. Now we don't know which strand it's on. It could be on the top strand or the bottom strand. And it really bothers me that after they spent so much time training you to look for ATG, this one does not start with ATG. So don't try to find ATG. Instead, pick if the letter Q on here doesn't have that many choices. It's either CAA or CAG. That's what you're going to be looking for then. So find on here which strand, top or bottom, and find the stretch of DNA that is going to code for this one. Now, these are slightly flipped from what you were shown on the first sequences, where the other one had the 3' on the top strand. Now this one is the 5' on the top strand. It's still the same thing. Just thinking if this bottom strand were to be coded into mRNA, it would go right there. The 5' would become A, that would become C, that would be A. So there's no reason to rewrite the strands completely. Just think about these as U, and remember that the other strand would then be the DNA. So find this one. And then on the next one, says the following gene fragment contains the coding sequence for the beginning of a 394 amino acid. What are the likely first 5 amino acids for the protein? So in this case, you aren't given the amino acids, but you want to find the first ATG start codon, making sure that you're reading the right direction, to find your AUG in the 5' to 3' direction. And now there are going to be more than one option available, but you will only need to have the first 5 amino acids in your answer. Any other wrong strands will have a stop codon within the first 10 amino acids. So if you can carry it out 10 amino acids, that tells you you have the right answer, and your answer only needs to include the first 5 amino acids. And last but not least down here is the DNA sequence below contains the entire coding region for a gene. Below that is the amino acid sequence of the protein coded for by the gene. A cell suffers a mutation that results in an altered protein being produced, shown below. Describe the location and type of mutation that has occurred. So you should be aware that everything is the same until you hit right around in here. And then something was changed in this sequence. This is the original sequence shown. What change could you make to this sequence to suddenly have this one come out of it? There are technically two answers. It's kind of like, well, you can put it in this spot or this spot, but you can work with as a team and find your answer. And then I guess the easiest way would be to have somebody, whoever has it, can either do screenshots and upload the files onto your team page to say, like, block off the area that you think, you could draw arrows on here. So if you want to do, just go print screen and paste it in Paint. I am totally fine with that. And you can upload your answer to them as 3 parts and just call it flu 1, 2, and 3. Again, I have now made pages on the setup on here. I think there might be an easier way, but I do know if you click people over here, it's going to look different for you. You'll have a different student view, and it should give you some sort of way to drop into your appropriate teams. Let's see how this looks from student view. So if we go to groups, there's flowers, and this is going to be all of your teams. So if you click on it, it will only let you go into your teams. Everybody else's will be locked for you. So if I go leave student view here, and just for example, if I go into this page and say visit group homepage, I have posted an announcement in there explaining what these pages are for. But I will also have a discussion board already started for where you can place your conversations about the previous question. And under files, this is where you can upload if you do screenshots or however. I don't care if y'all want to handwrite out your answers on paper and snap a picture on your cell phone and upload the images, or if you want to write your answers on the digital version. Do your thing, just as long as somebody uploads a correct answer or uploads answers on here. If it's one file or multiple files, whatever, just tell me when you're ready and then I will grade it. I do believe we have that open so y'all can work even around through the weekend. So I want these uploaded by before Monday so that we can talk about it by Monday. But that'll give me a way to grade your answers, and it'll give you a way to share. There's also, I believe, collaborations. It will open. You can collaborate using Google Docs or Office 365. If you have already been sharing documents on there, I am totally fine with that. But it is up to you on what you want to do. And then just let me know where you have posted your answers and I will come in and grab them off. So I hope that has been helpful. You can always message me and let me know if there's any questions. You can use Remind, you can use inbox on here. I don't care. It doesn't seem to notify me if you just post comments. So I have to go in and manually check to see if comments have been made. But yep, let's get these started. I will post the answers, part 4, after I have read everybody's discussions, and we'll tell you what the correct answer to that question was. That will be coming up next Monday. But until then, have a good weekend. Y'all stay safe out there. Things are getting pretty nasty. Wash your hands, wash your hands.